I think, yeah. Okay, now we're recording.
Alright.
Okay, number one. So consider 5 individuals with different occupations. Okay, in a barter system, which of the following pairs has a double coincidence of wants? I don't even remember that from the reading.
So that's where it's like a perfect match. Like Alan does taxes and wants ribs, and then someone else wants or does ribs but wants taxes. So I got D.
No.
I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see anyone that matched up.
Yeah. Oh, because what they do and what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The existence of money makes trade easier. B.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Which of the following is a store of value?
So I got A. I think the store value is just anything that's used as money.
An item people can use to transfer purchasing power from the present to future. So money is a store of value. Money holds its value over time. So it'll be cash, but let me see if it says stock. So I think it's just
cash.
Not stocks, right? So B. Well, no,
well, I was a little confused. I mean, because at the beginning of 16, it says money has 3 functions. It's a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value. These 3 functions together to distinguish money from other assets in the economy, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, art, even baseball cards. But say the store of value is an item that people can use to transfer purchase power from the present to the future. When a seller accepts money today in exchange for goods or service, that seller can hold the money and become a buyer of another good or service. Transfer purchasing power. So let's say a person can also transfer purchasing power from the present to the future by holding non-monetary assets such as stocks and bonds. Okay, so it's in 16.1a.
So it would be cash.
So cash and stock.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think.
All right, let's go with it.
All right, list assets from most to least liquid.
So currency, stocks, fine art.
That's what I got.
Okay. When colonists in Virginia used tobacco as money, their money would be C, fiat money, or I think
that's the commodity money. The fiat's the dollar bills. Is where the government says this is worth something. It doesn't say like tobacco, but they kept using cigarettes in prison.
Yeah,
as a commodity. Same thing.
Okay. Which of the following is not included in M1? M1 is currency, demand deposit, travel checks, and other check.
I think it's savings. I think savings is the M2.
Yeah, savings M2. Savings are included in just M2.
M2 is B.
M1, yeah. Okay, economists call an institution designed to oversee the banking system and regulate the quantity of money in the economy. Is it central bank?
Central bank. That's what I got.
All Fed purchases and sales of
That's B.
government bonds are conducted at the York Fed's trading desk. Yeah.
From the book.
Banks take account which are part of the bank's assets. That'd be reserves.
This is a little confusing because the chart.
Because I think deposits are a liability, right?
Well, that's okay. So that confused me because it's like, people make a deposit, but then it's not. But then it switches over to the reserves.
Well,
it
yeah.
becomes a reserve as an asset.
So it's like they have to balance it out. So when they put like $100 in as a deposit, that's technically not the bank's. Like, so that's kind of a liability of what they owe to the customer.
Okay.
So on their asset side, they put as a reserve because that's like the amount that they're required to hold, and then the rest they assume they're going to make loans out of it. So if they're like the reserve is 10%, then they have to withhold $10 in their reserve, and then they loan out $90.
Okay, I remember saying that. Okay.
So that's how they like balance it out. But
okay, so reserves, not deposits. All right, that works for me.
So I think we're going to deal with this here. So a bank has 90,000 or 8,000 in deposits and 6,000 in loans. It has loaned out all it can get. Well, I cannot read. It has loaned out all it can given the reserve requirement. It follows that the reserve requirement is
more food.
Go, Mike.
Yeah, that's for you. Eat it all up. So I did was it 6,000 divided by 8,000?
Yeah.
Got the 75%. So if it loans 75%, then 25% is the requirement, right?
The reserve requirement, yeah.
There you go. Reserve ratio.
Percent. Then 500 of additional reserves can create up to. Well, this is where it's confusing.
Well, because it doesn't say if it's an add-on the other thing, or can you find out from? So what I did, I don't know if it's right. I did look at the one formula. It was like 1 divided by 0.05 equals 20, and then the 20 times 500 equals 10,000. So that's what I got, but I don't even know if that's right, and I didn't understand what I was doing.
Yeah, where would this be? Because so you do 1 divided by 5.05, right?
Yeah, so what it is.
Which is 20 times 500, which would be 10,000.
Yeah, that's the right one. That's so okay. This is on slide 10. Or wait, I think it's where it starts. So it's 10%. Oh no, I'm sorry, 19.
Oh, okay.
So the R is 5%.
Yeah, so in that example, $100 of reserves for 10% multiplier. Times 100. Yeah, so you just you find the money multiplier out of the reserve ratio and then times it by the original amount of money or the original deposit. And that's what it for money supply.
Right.
I'm sure I will forget that come.
Yeah, in 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah. So if the reserve ratio is 8%, then a decrease in reserves of 6,000 can cause the money supply to fall in as much. This I don't get. So
6,000. So is it like, again, the way it's written, I can't tell if it's from a previous problem, because 8%, or is this the same multiplier? So 8 times 6,000 or whatever, so it'll be 48,000.
8% decrease.
I think I saw this on the
Jeez, oh no.
PowerPoint. 20. This is like the maximum or minimum maximum or something. No, protect big reserves.
They were just timesing. I don't even know.
Yeah, finish your food. Why?
Are we doing the same thing? So 1 divided by 0.08 times 6,000.
I think so.
I get 75,000. And that's an option.
Yeah, because so where is it? Somewhere in the book it was like it was how you find like the minimum and then the maximum of what it could do.
Let me type minimum.
Times. Talk about the money multiplier. So I think it's
So slide 21 kind of goes over this. So
yeah, okay, the maximum possible increase. So it would just be opposite. It would be the maximum possible decrease then, right?
yeah, so maximum possible increase in deposits 250, but money supply is also includes currency, which falls. No, I don't even get that. It's checking, but that doesn't specify checking.
Yeah, so I think it's this. I think it's 75,000.
Yeah.
Because we just find the ratio, which is 0.0 or 1 over 0.08.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I guess, yeah, does it make sense for like the decrease in reserves of 6,000? You're just finding what that money could make. So,
right, because if it was written the other way, if it was they added 6,000, it would be still 75,000, right?
Yeah. Okay. So in Ugo land, the money supply is 8 million and reserves are 1 million, assuming that people hold only deposits and no currency, and the bank hold no excess reserves. Then the reserve requirement is.
Okay, money supply. There's a formula for money supply.
So the reserve requirement.
Oh, hello. We're
So the money supply is currency plus deposits.
I think on this one we're just finding the reserve.
Yeah, put them under lock and key. So don't use them for the
which is 8%.
Is that just the 1 million divided by 8 million?
Yeah.
Working so hard.
All right, that works. All right.
All right. So
Okay.
this is the interest rate that.
All right. This is the definition was the banks charge one another for loans.
Yeah. Which of the following can banks use to borrow from Federal Reserve? It's the discount window. I think
I think it's both, but like the term they said it was like you don't always that's not always an option or something, like it's special circumstances they do the auction, but I guess it's still a way they can borrow.
so new method from auction.
Okay, both of them have a brother going to school with them.
Getting against each other for these loans. So I think you did both. That's on slide 30.
Okay, yeah, so it's both, I think.
Okay. So when the Fed conducts open market. I'd say B. Right?
I think it's decreases the money supply.
Buy it and
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, wait, do I have that back?
Yeah, it decreases.
Purchasing it, and they're leasing money into the market. Okay, right? Because it's when they sell bonds that they're holding the money in deposits.
Let me see. It's in the summary. So it says the Fed controls the money supply primarily through open market operations. The purchase of government bonds increase the money supply. Right, so it's A. Right?
Okay. Monetary. It's controlled by the country's bank.
Three, two, four down.
All right. So money supply is currency plus deposits.
Gosh.
I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah, so what's the formula?
So it's money that's not an individual bank, so it's 300.
Okay.
Required reserves.
So it says so all money is on deposit. Like they don't loan, right? So that's what it's saying.
Yeah, it's like their central bank.
So because I think on slide 13 is what we're going to use then. If I'm reading this right. So it says Caucasians prefer to use only demand deposits, and so all money is on deposit at the bank.
So I mean, we're trying to find the rate, right? So we taking everything from that first part and separating between liabilities and assets.
Yeah. We have to find the rate to find the multiplier, right?
Right. So okay, so 7,500 is deposits. Are the bonds part of the reserves or are they part of the deposits?
So I think so 300 million tasers of required reserves.
The 75 million, that's what they can loan out.
Yeah, and then 7,500 of the actual deposits, right? Because we're not worried about reserves.
Right. So is it 5%? Well, that's just the 375 divided by 7,500. I don't know what to do with the treasury bonds. That'd be 8% if we add that in. So I got 125. So okay, so if we put everything on the assets, the 300, the 75, and the 225, and then we put the 7,500 as a liability, then we have 320. Wait, that's right. 300. 75 plus 2. So I got 600 divided by 7,500 is 8%. So then if we do 1 divided by 8%, it's 12.5. And we multiply that by the 10 million tasers. That's 125 million. But that doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. So no, it's so what's the reserve requirement ratio? So it's fraction of deposit so the reserve ratio is fraction of deposit the banks hold as reserves, and the total reserves as a percentage of total deposits. So I think that means in the context of this question is that fraction of the deposit. Did it give us the reserve ratio? It does.
No, I gotta figure that out.
That's what we're finding. I think it's 300 million divided by 7,500. Or as a fraction.
So what is like the 7,500 issued 7,500 million tasers of deposits? I mean, is that the loan or is that what the customers have deposited?
Oh, as a fraction, maybe you have to so you have to divide it by 100. Is that what it's saying? As a fraction?
Well, the fraction is the what is it? It's the percentage. It means that they have to hold the percentage. Like
So
it's what? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say when I do like 300, so I'm just rounding, or I'm not doing like 300 million. I'm just doing 300.
Right.
Times 100 divided by 7,500, and I get 4% as the multiplier, which would be 25, right? So 1 divided by 0.4, 25. And then so I don't know where to go from there. Mm-hmm. So currency in circulation is 375 million.
So it's asking about the money supply.
So I think it's that. So the total reserves times the multiplier is what we're trying to find, which would be the 9,375 million, right? That's not even that.
Oh, 9,000.
Okay. You get 125 million. How did you find 125 million? Because I'm lost.
Well, so I don't know if that's right. It's I took everything. So I took the 300 plus the 75 plus the 225.
Mhm.
And put my asset side, and then put the liability as 7,500 deposits. And then I added to the assets, so 600, and divide that by the liabilities, which gave me the 8%. And then I took the 8% times that by the 10 million as the multiplier. But I don't know if that's right because it's asking for the money supply. In the PowerPoint, the money supply is on 14 is the currency plus deposits is the money supply. So I think we have to do.
But oh wait, is that because there's no? So I got on slide 13 was it?
Yeah, 13 says currency plus deposits. So there's no loans.
Yeah, there'll be no loan, so there's no currency
So it's just deposits
deposits.
is the money supply. So what's the difference? 10 million and let's see.
So yeah, and all their deposits, right? Which would be their total reserves.
Yeah. So maybe the extra stuff is just extra. Because that would be 600. I can remember 600. So it's probably some combination. Let's say 300. 5 million.
Suppose also that both the reserve requirement and the percentage of deposits held as excess reserves stay the same. So yeah. Should we come back to this one?
Yeah.
Gain some confidence. Bank run depositors decide to hold more currency relative to deposit. Banks decide to hold excess deposits.
I got B with a money supply would decrease.
Okay, actually.
Because the people they're coming to grab money, so they'd have more currency, and the banks would hold excess reserves because, like I said on the case study thing, I think it said that they would keep more to protect them from more runs on the bank. They would hold more reserves.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
And 20, would that be D?
yeah, so I got D.
Shoot, all right, we're back to this. Hungry dog, I can't figure this out.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's see. And I hate that none of the above is one of the answers because that opens it to anything.
Because this doesn't say we may not be using case or slide 13 because this doesn't really necessarily say it's 100% reserve banking system. Does that last? Does it mean that it is?
No, we're just looking at the money supply. So money supply is what? So money supply is the quantity of money available in the economy.
Change. So money supply equals change in reserves time money multiplier. I don't even know. I really don't. This is right.
That's fine. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, it's like looked up to see what there was, and it says 200 on the internet, but it doesn't tell you how or why.
Or,
Right.
so I don't remember seeing an example of something like this in the reading either.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the first one. Video walkthrough. I didn't get through all the videos. Well, I know. I'm happy guessing on that one.
Yeah.
I don't have to research or find that one. I don't know. Maybe to one of the study guides. Because even if it was 200.
Okay, wait here a second. I'm gonna send you something really quick.
All right.
Energy. That's not right. There you go. Okay, I sent you. So sometimes I got Chegg to kind of teach sometimes if I'm really struggling. And Chegg is not. Sometimes it just depends on the situation. But anyway.
All right. Screenshot.
So this kind of helped clear it up for me, but
So using M as the ratio.
so I understand. But I guess money supply.
Oh, I supplied. Okay, so they don't even use the 225.
No. So they got 200 million also. This is a different one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does that make sense? I guess.
Yeah.
It looks
Wait, so 10
like
0.05. Like I didn't see them ever divide the loan amount by the reserve requirement ratio. So I don't know.
So is that like the 1 divided by R, except it wouldn't, it would be the loan amount, like 10 divided by R.
Yeah.
That's what I supply. Well, yeah, I'm good with guessing the 200.
Yeah. About to be wrong. Oh my gosh. I'll turn it in first.
Good tough one.
So you have a chance to. 19 out of 20. I don't know which one.
I missed one. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll see you next week.
Got it.
All right. Bye.